Holy shit. Play. First blood.
Suck on this!
Killing spree.
Anyone else want some?
Life is pain. Get over it.
Step aside!
You have won the match. Play. Multi-kill! You have won the match! Play.
Oh yeah!
Try turning the safety off. You like that? Headshot. Holy shit!
Kiss my ass!
Flesh is a design flaw. Die, bitch!
Try turning the safety off!
Killing spree! Suck on this.
Nailed him!
Headshot. You have won the match! Play.
Holy shit! Try turning the safety off!
Double kill!
You be dead!
Step aside. Double kill!
Try turning the safety off! Eat that! Duck faster next time! My house!
Double kill! Double kill! You have won the match! Play. Killing spree!
Burn, baby! Is that your best?
Rampage! Flawless victory!